This is the NFL on EA Sports, and we are in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. He's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Coleman. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch.
Here we go.
Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right. And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Garoppolo under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. 8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Day The defensive tackle getting in there for a loss of 5.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Here we go. 20. Get in the weight room.
Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Returnable for Lockett. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing is Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. He's got a first down past the 30 and all the way up to the 31-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Now a throw here to his running back, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum. because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56.
Wilson gives to Prosise on the delay. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. 20! And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 15-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Green 80. Mike, 54. Time to go, night.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. It's caught. Lockett. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 10-yard line.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do. Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. D Ford, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers.
A 31-yard attempt.
And Myers able to knock it through. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
Before getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You're almost talking me into it.
Going up top. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
At the 42-yard line.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Check 56. Hey, alert. Small. No.
On 1st down, Carson.
Check 4.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Getting the sack to 227-pound linebacker Quan Alexander.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Watch the pass.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Hey, watch the slant.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval as a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Now Garoppolo. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Tevin Coleman there to make the grab. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. He hits his running back, Procise. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. He's got Lockett. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Check. Watch 54.
From the shotgun, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Mike's 54. Reload. Out of time. It's out of time.
Here's Wilson operating from the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. An excellent run of 22 yards on the keeper and also a 1st down. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. From the gun, Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, defense. 40.
Here's Wilson. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Dee Ford able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Right there, 54.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now without their defense? So they take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. You just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Ready?
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Garoppolo now. 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run to Coleman on 1st down. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handling.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Shaquill Griffin with a pick. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
That's it, baby. You got one.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
On first down, Procise. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's Wilson. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice.
A loss of a yard brings up second and 11 at the 45-yard line.
Here we go. 180! 65! 65!
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off,
Here we go.
I think I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.